Hello and welcome to the channel How to Open a Nursery with myself, Kurt Liania, where I help you to run, grow and open your own nursery or any other type of childcare business. In this video, we are looking at a key area of the EYFS which often gets overlooked, which is the characteristics of effective learning, which is essentially about how children learn. Every child is different and every child learns differently. So it is important for us to know how our child or our children learn best. The characteristics of effective learning in early years is based on 3 areas, which I will get into shortly. In each area, I will start off by giving a little summary of it so that you get an idea of what the area is about and to help you understand it a little bit better. Afterwards, I'll then go into more detail about each section. So I hope ultimately that it helps you to understand it better. As mentioned, in early childhood, there are 3 crucial aspects of the characteristics of effective learning that play an essential role in aiding children's development. The first of them being playing and exploring, which is all about how children engage. To give a quick summary before going into more detail about it, playing and exploring involves 3 key aspects. The first being about finding out and exploring. This is where children will show curiosity about objects, events and people. They will use their senses to explore the world around them and engage in open-ended activities and may show particular interests. The second aspect is playing with what they know. This involves children pretending objects are things from their experience. They will represent their own experiences in their play and enjoy taking a role in their play and acting out their experiences with other people. The final aspect of playing and exploring is being willing to have a go. This is where a child enjoys or regularly initiates activities. They will also show a can-do attitude, so not giving up and consistently persevering. They may enjoy engaging in lots of new experiences and will generally learn through trial and error, which is kind of linked in with schemas, which I've done in an earlier video. Check out the channel if you want to learn anything about schemas. So that's a quick summary of what playing and exploring is, but to go into more detail, playing and exploring is a key aspect of the characteristics of effective learning, which is all about engagement. When children are engaged in their learning, they are more likely to retain and understand what they've learned. This is because they are actively involved in the learning process, rather than just passively receiving information. Playing and exploring gives children the opportunity to experiment and explore with their environment, which helps to stimulate and encourage their curiosity and creativity. Engagement can be promoted through various methods, and this is where you can help your children. One way of doing this is by providing open-ended activities that enables children to explore and experiment in their own way. So by allowing junk modelling, for example, or loose parts play, it encourages children to use their imagination and creativity whilst also developing problem-solving skills. Creating a safe and supportive environment where children feel comfortable taking risks and making mistakes is also an essential part of promoting engagement. When children feel secure and valued, they'll be more confident in taking risks and participate in learning. A child who is not secure in their environment is unlikely to engage in their learning, which ultimately hinders them playing and exploring. Understanding your children and using a variety of resources to help them, catering to different learning styles and different approaches, will all help to aid engagement. So having sensory materials like sand and water is a critical aspect of this. This all helps to aid our children to engage in a way that best suits them. But moving on to the second area of characteristics of effective learning, which is active learning, which is all about their motivation. Again, we'll go straight into a quick summary of active learning, which involves 3 aspects. Firstly, being involved and concentrating. You can observe children being involved and concentrating if you can see that they are maintaining focus on activity for an extended period of time. They may show high levels of energy towards the activity and fascination about it. It's really nice when you see your children get really excited about an activity that you set up. You know that you're going to really have their attention during this period. They're not going to be easily distracted and they'll pay attention to a lot of the information that you give them. The second aspect of active learning is keeping on trying. This involves persevering during activities when challenges occur. It also involves believing that more or a different approach will work in the end and bouncing back after difficulties. The final aspect of active learning is enjoying achieving what they set out to do. So for example, they might show satisfaction in achieving their goals. That could be just completing a puzzle or finishing their picture. They will show pride in not only the end result, but the fact that they've managed to achieve something. They will enjoy meeting and overcoming challenges, not just for the reward and praise that they get, but for their own satisfaction. So active learning is all about being actively involved in activity, rolling with challenges, and then being excited about the end result. To explain this further, it all involves the motivation of the children. When children are more motivated to learn, they are more likely to actively engage in the learning process. Active learning involves providing opportunities for children to learn in a hands-on and experimental manner. This can be achieved by using a variety of teaching methods like play-based learning or learning through play. Positive feedback and praise can all help to promote active learning, as can setting realistic and achievable learning outcomes. If the outcomes aren't realistic, it can have the opposite effect and can actually demotivate your child. So this is an important part of it. Once children feel that sense of accomplishment, it becomes like a buzz and they want to keep on doing it. A good thing to do is to allow children to set their own outcomes too. This will allow them to reflect on their own learning and will further promote active learning. When children take ownership of their own learning, they're more likely to be motivated and engaged. By promoting active learning, we are encouraging our children to be critical thinkers, problem solvers, and decision makers. These skills are vital for success, not only academically, but in all aspects of life. Active learning helps to create a sense of excitement around learning, which can be a powerful motivator for children. The final aspects of characteristics of effective learning in early years is creating and thinking critically, which is all about how we think. Creating and thinking critically involves three aspects. Firstly, having your own ideas. Obviously, this involves thinking of ideas, but also involves finding ways to solve problems and finding new ways to do things. The second aspect is making links. This involves making links and noticing patterns in their experiences. So in terms of maths, you might notice that if I've lined up red, yellow, the next one is likely to be red. Or in books, your child might learn the pattern of the rhyme and be able to know what might come next. Or even just in your routine, they might start making predictions about what will happen next. So it's all about making predictions, testing new ideas, and developing ideas of grouping things together, sequences, cause and effect. The final aspect of creating and thinking critically is choosing ways to do things. So you might notice that your child is planning how to do things and is making decisions about how to approach a task. They will solve a problem and reach a goal, check how well the activity might be going, and change strategy when needed. And afterwards, they might review how well the activity went or what they could have done differently. As mentioned, creating and thinking critically is all about how our children might think. We as practitioners or parents should be providing opportunities for our children to develop their imagination, creativity, and critical thinking skills. This can be achieved by using open-ended questions, which are questions that all start with what, who, where, why, and how. So for example, instead of saying, do you think you should do this? You could ask, what do you think you could do differently? You can also introduce activities that involve problem solving and provide opportunities for children to express their own ideas and opinions. Activities that promote critical thinking are lots of open-ended activities where children can introduce their own ideas, like arts materials or using technology. Working together with your children on projects can help to improve critical thinking. So when you're working together, think of open-ended questions that can extend their learning. Like, what do you think would happen if we done this? Or, how do you feel about that? This allows children to share ideas, learn from each other and ourselves, and develop teamwork skills. Some problem-solving activities that you could introduce are things like puzzles. But those are the three key areas of characteristics of effective learning in early years. If you'd like to learn more about any of this, I have an article linked in the description which goes into a little bit more detail about it. But just remember the three key areas: playing and exploring, which is all about their engagement. Then you have active learning, which is all about their motivation, and creating and thinking critically, which is all about how they think. Use them three and the explanations that we've gone over in this video to better understand how your child or children learn. Whether you're dealing with your own child as a parent, or if you work in a childcare setting and you're dealing with other people's children. The more we understand this, the better we can support our children to learn and develop. Which is why I think that understanding the characteristics of effective learning is so important. But hopefully you've got a better understanding of it, which you can now put into practice with your own children. If you've learned anything from the video, or you've just enjoyed the video, do not forget to hit that like button. Hitting that like button is so important and I love it. Every like lets me know that you're finding these videos useful and that you may have learned something from it, which ultimately encourages me to make more videos. And don't forget, if you want more guidance on running, growing or opening your own nursery or any other childcare business, don't forget to subscribe. I post regular videos, which I can now say as I've been posting a lot more consistently. Every Wednesday it's been, if you've noticed. So now that I post regular videos, make sure you subscribe to get first access to a range of videos helping you in your setting. They're all going to be childcare related, whether that be helping you to improve your practice, helping you to find childcare, or giving you little tips on starting and growing a childcare business. If you have interest in any of this, make sure you subscribe. Also, if you do want to open your own childcare business, don't forget to check out the website openanurnsery.co.uk. It has lots of articles and courses to help support you. Plus, on the website you can book one-to-one time with myself where you can get expert advice on a range of different childcare issues, primarily around helping you to open your own nursery. But before you go, I want to wish you all the best and good luck in your childcare career. God bless.